It's that time of day where we make the video. What we're going to tell you today, or what the video is about today, is where we're exactly at on the Bugatti and what I'm doing, and the tools that I'm using to get what I need to get done. As you come around the back here, this is the spare tire thing or something. I think it's a spare tire, I think. What I have done is I mudded that out together and sanded that together. And what I call flooded it out. I flooded it out all the way around the lip. Before it got hard, I took an X-Acto knife and went around the edge of the cover, because that's the edge I'm going to go with. And then I took the jigsaw, took that around the cover, like that, took it off around the cover. That's where the metal is. I went with the metal around the cover. Then I took a jigsaw, I put some tape on its feet, and I just ran it through there and give myself a half decent body line. And then I started sanding it. And the reason being is this is tacked on right now. The cover's tacked on. It does not work right this present moment. It's on there for fitment and, yeah, just trying to get it done all together, you know what I mean? It's not done yet. But as I sand that, I got metal showing up here. I got metal showing on the car here while I'm sanding. I got metal going on all over here. I got some metal going on over there. I got some metal going on right there. So as I'm sanding this, I'm flooding it out. I'm not going past the ocean floor. I'm trying not to. I want a nice flood on it. So as we got this fitting, as you can still imagine, there's still a lot more work that has to be done. It has to be sanded with an 80 grit. I got a chip on the edge of the door here. I'd like to fix that. I got some picks, got some pinholes, got some stuff that I'd still like to fix. And that's what stuff that slows you down and takes time. That's called finger bombing, you know what I mean? There's a lot of finger sanding going on there. Most of this I would do with the 8-inch orbital, and then I would feather it off by hand with a 40 grit. So as I come around the car and I got this sort of half fitting, I still have to fix the chip. I still have to come over and mud that. Come over here, baby. As I want to show you anything at all, like that's a chip. She chipped off when I was doing the jigsaw. But anything like that, or even spots like that, just any little tiny thing at all has to be fixed. As I come over on the fender skirt, I have not touched it since the last time I touched it, but I did not like this up front here. It had a pocket in there for some reason, and I never ever fixed it, so I decided to fix it this morning. I took the welder and I welded a piece of 1/8 plate in that corner, because that's what that plate is there. And then I just took off whatever mud that come off, and I re-glassed it, and I'll grind that off, and then I'll go fill it out again. As I go along, every bottom of this bottom has to be filled out. The bottom of this has to be filled out. What I mean is that there's welding going along there, along a bunch of round rod. It's been welded. Now it needs filler on it to get any places that don't look nice. As I started going around the door, around the hinges has been trying. I made special little things to fit in, like a little block to fit in there. Just a small little thing. I could put some fill in, block it in there, and get it nice. It took time, but now I've got the gaps around the door looking really good. I've got metal showing, metal. I do not want to go any further than that, you know. There's no purpose other than to make it take too much off. As you come inside the door, I've got it filled out. I see you got some fill still hanging on there, you know, not sanded off. I've still got some fill here not sanded. You can see around the hinges that it's not finished. Like this sort of little stuff that I'm showing you is all the stuff that takes time that you do not see. I'll have to spend time in there to clean that all out to make that look nice. As you can see, I got little pinholes and I got a mud puddle there, but I'm hitting metal everywhere around the door, so I just need a little bit more mud to take the mud puddle out and make it look nice. But all that stuff takes time. Even sanding in around the hinges and stuff, it takes time to make that look right. Like up and around the door lock, that stuff there takes time. Tape is there because I don't want fill in certain places, you know, that's how it goes. But as I'm doing that, every piece of this body has to be filled to make look right. And it's almost, picture this. It's that pretty girl getting ready to run the runway. I am putting the makeup on the car like the artist would do the showgirl, you know. Let's face it. They're all made up, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm putting its makeup on, and I want to put it everywhere so it looks A1. As I get going, I got the hood fitted. I got that all gapped out. What I did is I put the hood on. I put a piece of tape on there, and I put a piece of tape on there and just ground that glass back to the tape. Now I got a perfect line on my hood. But remember, that's not finished yet because it's glass. I got to cover it with some filler and do it again. As we get to the front fender, it's still got these rivets in it, and it's got a bunch of mud up on there that I don't feel like sanding off. And on the other side, it's even worse. It's got the rivets that's sharper because the rivets flattened off on the other side. And I'm gonna zap them out. I'm going to show you right here, right now. I haven't done one yet, but I'm going to take one off. I'm not going to do them all, but I'm going to do one just to show you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go on this side. Yeah, okay, I put glasses on. Come over this side, baby. So this is what I'm going to do. On this side, it's flat, and it would probably run up the side of the metal. But I'm going to go on this side. Watch this. Come over here, baby. Let's go over this side. Run that off. I do not like hammering it like that, but I'm satisfied with the welding that I did down in there, that everything's okay. You know, that's all welded on there, you know, and ground off. I think there's no problem with it whatsoever. I just think that anything, and I'll take them all off and get that filled out. That has to be all done, taken off. I have to, when I fill up, I can only mix little bits up. I can't come in and flood it out. I'm going to come in and take my finger and go, whirr, and then I'll have to sand it all out, you know. That stuff takes time. So I'll be taking the rivets out soon. All the edges of the fenders and the lips have to be done. And it's not the case where I can mix up a bunch of mud and come over here and do a whole bunch of lips. That's not the way you do it. You mix up a little bit, get it on, go clean your board and get another little bit done, just a little tiny bit, and put it on with your finger. That's how I generally do, is I put it on with my finger. And that's just making a bunch and going all the way around the car, like you can picture it, all the way around the car. It has to be done because it's been welded. As we come to the hood, we've figured out what we're going to do. We're going to use 28, 29 Model A chrome stanchions on the side. Well, we can get those cheap at Speedway. They'll look nice, and obviously they stay on the outside of the car, and that's what they had, so that's probably what we'll use. I remember cracking this when I was hitting this with a hammer before it went away, and I reminded myself to look at it, and it had a crack there with the filler because I was hitting it with a 2-pound hammer trying to straighten that out. That's 1/8 plate. And I did crack it, so I fixed it. I ground it out and I fixed it. I've got this side of the hood looking nice, but it's just glass, so I still have to cover it and fill. Down at the bottom of the fender, you can see where I drug the welder around. I'm down there now. I'm welding that in there. There's a little piece of 1/8 plate I'm welding at the bottom of the fender. I've already done it at the other side, but it's holding there, and it's got the helmet there waiting for me to weld it in. And what I'll do is I'll take the die grinder, I'll clean up around the edge, I'll weld it in. Whatever mud or anything burns or it falls off, I know how far to grind it back, and then I just replace it. The bottom of the door and this one still needs, it's probably the right gap that it needs, but I got that one over there tighter. I think I might take some off the other side and try to make it a little freer like this one. There's no sense making the gaps too tight, but that's exactly where I'm at. Still got to take all the rivets out on the top of the roof yet. I have to figure out how to disconnect the trunk lid and put that back on. There's a way that could be done. Inner fenders are not done. They're in there. I've got a plan for that. Jolene's probably going to bring them out. There's some round rod I would like welded on the edge of the inner fender up here so it's not just sharp. We'll probably pull them out to do that. Jolene can do that for me maybe. And then once I get it, I can see lots of places where pinholes, I keep going around hitting the pinholes whenever I got mud made up. And then when I'm happy enough that it looks fair, I'm not going to prime it when it looks, I'm going to prime when it looks fair. It does not matter to me if it has, if I come and see a couple pinholes. If I see a couple pinholes like this, that does not bother me when it comes to time to prime it. It does not bother me if I see a couple of those. I'm not going to run around and make sure every one of those are taking out before I prime it. Not at all. Because of this is the reason. Because I'm going to put probably 2 or 3 gallons of primer on this car. Probably 3 gallons of primer I'm going to put on this car. All at once, I'm pretty sure. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to prime the outside of it. Not going to be opening the doors all up. I might put a little bit in there maybe, but I'm going to prime just the outside of it. And I want to let it set for a while. And then I will use all that product to make the car the best it can be. The best it can be, you know, to find, you know, that's what I'll do. I will guide coat it and I will block it out to make it fit and gapped the best it can be. With the primer on it, I will still be able to go around and fix pinholes, any place that doesn't look right, that sort of stuff. When it's primed, I'm probably going to leave it for a while and I'm going to head off to the engine. So it's not going to be long, you know, to be honest with you, it's not going to be long. It's going to be back down the ground and we're going to be taking the Jaguar engine out and we're going to be taking the hood off and trying to place it down in there. I am not going to take this body off and try to find out where the engine goes. Not going to do that. No, not going to do that. I'm going to leave the car body right on, primed, everything. Just pull the hood off. Do the best we can to get it in there and get it mounted. You know, get somehow mounted some way or another. It doesn't have to be permanent, but it needs to be mounted and show me where the transmission is going. I need that with that on there. That way there I can tell what needs to be cut out of the floor, what needs to be cut out of the firewall, and what needs to happen. One thing I really like about this car, if anybody has not noticed, the front wheels on this thing are, you know, the front wheels are here, and the front wheels are right here where the grill is. The engine is back behind the wheels, you know. If you do not notice that, that's one nice thing that I like, you know. Yeah, the motor is back behind the wheels. It should handle really nice and steer really good. The car is starting to get a little bit heavy. Before it was very light, but now I'm getting mud on it and getting the fender skirts on it, getting the doors plucked on it. It's starting. The heft of the car is starting to get there. Everything's going good. It's just a matter of fixing all the little tiny things that make a real good job. And any little wormhole, any scratch, anything like that does not get covered by paint. It does not. If you have primed something and you've sanded it and you see something that does not look like it's flat and smooth like glass, you're going to see it. Simple as that. So that's how, I guess you can tell how many hours someone has put in their car by how smooth and flat and shiny it is, because that means they have gone over every piece of the car. So if you can picture it, like the whole side of the car, all inside the windows, all around the inside the doors, all around the edge of the doors, the bottoms of the fenders, underneath the hood, underneath the trunk lid, everything has to have attention to make something look really, really, really nice. And if you don't want to, that does not matter. It's your car. You do as you please. And I'm just building this car for Jolene, but that's what I'm saying I have to do to this car to make it, you know, stand out, I guess. I have to make sure that I go over every piece, and that's the way it's going. The door is starting to fit really nice. I like the hinges on it, look really nice. It just needs attention everywhere, if you know what I'm still trying to tell you. There's still the bottom, everywhere has to be attended to. When I prime it, it will not be finished, but it'll be working on the way to get there. I'd like to get a coat of primer on it soon, but all the little places that I'm showing you have to have attention. So as I say, I have fiberglass over here on this side. That means that I have to get a tool to take it off. So as I take that glass off, that means now, as I do that spot, I have to go over and get some filler. Fill that spot out. Then when I get that spot filled out, then I have to run to another spot, like over the fender, get that fiberglass off, and get some filler on top of that. Once I get I get filler to go on top of the hood. And once I get that done, then I have to go underneath the fender. There's so much filling to do that I don't think you need to watch. But I'm telling you what I'm doing at the present time on this car. We're trying to make it fit right, look right, and yeah, make us happy. So I still have to weld the piece in over there. That's one of my main concerns, to get that piece welded in, and then I can call the outside of the body on the welding finished. There's still stuff on the underneath of it, but hey, that's the way it goes. Got a new sign in the mail. Huh? What's the name? John McDonald? Joe McDonald. It said Toby on the thing, but thanks, Joe. That's awesome. Did a badass job. I was wondering how he cut out the bad Chad Customs. It's badass, right? It's like, listen, you'd be pretty good with a jigsaw, cut that out. But he cut that on a laser table or something like that, or wicked. Cool. I appreciate that. Anybody that sends in nice things, man, you know what I mean, just tells me who you are. Fine example. Actions say more than words. How you act and how you treat people and what you write and what you do tells people who you are. Pretty simple. That's what I like the computer for. I can read any comment I want to, and I can tell you who that person is by what they wrote. And that's how you know. They always say, what someone says about you is telling you who they are, because that's what they're thinking. It's kind of weird, eh? But read any comment on the internet you want to, and it'll tell you exactly what that person's interested in. We're interested in cars, ain't we, baby? Huh? We got a letter from a man in the mail. Where'd we put that letter? He said he wrote into Pepsi. That's cool. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Glenn from Victoria. Thank you very much, Glenn. I'm still trying to be that guy, you know, every day. Every day I think about just trying to behave myself. It's called putting yourself in gear for something that, what can I say? Putting yourself in gear to be in the right mood. Sometimes you have to be in the right gear to be able to do something, if you know what I'm trying to say. If there's someone that annoys you, that you're going around, and you know this, shift the gear into it doesn't matter when you meet that person, and then you're ready and you can deal with it and you'll do a good job at it, I guarantee it. Put your brain where you want to go. And thank you very much, Glenn. Pepsi one day will probably gladly hire me on. Thanks.